My name is Roger Rugi, and I am a mentor with the Pathfinder Resilience program. And today I'm going to talk to you about something that is an incredible piece of internal software we have in our amazing minds. And it's called the Reticular Activating System, the RAS. And it plays into something that we've probably all heard a lot about, which is this idea of positive thinking, right? The power of positive thinking and our ability to navigate our life's adversities with a lot more ease and grace, and hopefully a lot more fun and joy too. Is it really possible? And scientifically, what's actually happening? Well, the reticular activating system is super interesting because all of you have actually had an experience with it. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you decided to buy a new car and you decided on the make, the model, the color, the interior, the extras that you wanted with it. You researched it online, you test drove it, you know some friends who have one, you talk to online groups. In other words, you begin to saturate your consciousness with all things about this particular vehicle. And that's way cool, right? We're having a lot of fun with that. We're feeling the joy. And that drives it a little deeper into that internal process. Now, of course, something that all of you've experienced is as soon as you do that research and you make up your mind, you're excited about that thing, you begin to see it everywhere, don't you? You see that silly car everywhere you go. Right. Well, it was there before. It just wasn't programmed inside your consciousness to scan your environment for that. You see, that's the process of the reticular activating system. It is a pattern recognition software, and we can take big time advantage of that. Now, here's a really interesting thing. How we see the world is largely in part done by that reticular system, right? So what we've done is our wisdom teachers, right? Our parents, our teachers, our friends, as we're growing up, they give us a view of the world. And because we say 2 plus 2 equals 4 when we're children, yet we say that because someone told us 2 plus 2 equals 4. If we were to ask that child derivate that on a blackboard and prove it, no, my mom told me 2 plus 2 equals 4. And then maybe they could give you a little example of that, right? So we're not thinking, we're absorbing. And that absorption becomes part of our personal reality because we've programmed this to look at the world through that lens. We then see, recognize that pattern, and then that pattern gets validated over and over again, and that pattern becomes our personality, and that personality now sees the world. So in effect, it's creating our personal reality. Isn't that fascinating? Well, it's all what we put in here. Have you ever noticed the person who could win the lottery and would still be depressed? Have you ever noticed the person that the worst possible thing could happen and all they see is opportunity? Go back to their childhood. And I promise you, somewhere along that journey, that reticular system was programmed for that response. That's the difference. And as Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, either way, you're right. Now, what I'm going to give you is an opportunity to program that internal system to positivity, to happiness, to joy. And if you don't have a lot of joy in your life right now, if life is like all kinds of suck, well, this can be a real game changer. And all it takes is a few minutes every day. And I know a lot of people promise that crap, just a few minutes a day, and you'll lose X number of pounds. I'm not trying to sell you snake oil here. I'm trying to tell you how to program your mind. And I'm going to give you a way to do it that drills straight in and gets you there very quickly with a minimal amount of effort. But yes, effort is involved. Here's how you do it. What I want you to do is to make a list of the things that bring you happiness and joy in your life. Just make that list, whatever it looks like. And feel free to expand that as long and big as you want. I'd recommend at least 5 things, but if you can take it further than that, the things that you have happiness and joy for, please do. Like maybe you're really happy that your child spent all afternoon drawing you this cool picture, right? That's a thing that you could be grateful for, have happiness for. Maybe you're really happy that right now You got a refrigerator full of food and you don't have to worry about the basics of survival like a lot of people in the world have to worry about, right? Maybe that makes you happy. Maybe your playfulness or your dog or whatever it is. Write that list. Now, here's what I want you to do. Right before you fall asleep and first thing upon waking, your brain waves slow down. When we first wake up, we're a little groggy. When we're about to fall asleep, kind of the same in that place, right? Our brainwaves have now slowed down to about 10.5 hertz, which is considered a hypnagogic state of consciousness. Just like it sounds, we can now create a kind of hypnosis for ourselves, depending on the program, when we decide to stick in that reticular activating system. So as we're falling asleep, or very first thing when we're waking up, we're going to take that list we created. And I'm going to encourage you to make that list look cool. Like get on your computer and put some puppies and rainbows and unicorns and things that bring the smile to your face. For example, my granddaughter, who is now 3, she brings a smile to my face whenever I see her picture. That kind of thing, right? Where it's like, oh yeah, right. I feel joy with that. The more joy you can experience in this process, the better. So I'm going to also ask you, as you look at the things on your list that give you happiness and joy, that you take a moment to open up your heart and feel as much as you can allow yourself to feel that happiness and joy. The more emotional content you put into this process, the deeper and quicker it programs the reticular activating system. Now, friends, if you do this for about a month, about 30 days, you're going to begin to see some shifts, and you'll probably see it a whole lot sooner. Depending on how your perspective of life is, depends on how long this will take. If you're a glass half empty kind of person, it might take a little longer. If you tend to lean toward glass half full side of the fence, it'll probably ramp up a little bit quicker for you, but all of you will shift. And here's how it might look. You might suddenly start to notice the elderly couple walking in front of your car, still holding hands because they're still in love, and it brings a smile to your face. You might pause for a minute while you're walking through the park to watch the child who's just running in circles, chasing bubbles that their mom is blowing, and they're just in a state of ecstasy, of joy, and that might bring a smile to your face. You might see a street musician who's really good and no one gives them any props because they're on a street with their little violin case open. And you pause for a minute to feel the amazingness of the gift they're giving you through their music being expressed in that moment. That's how it changes. Now, I know this can sound a little too good to be true. And I know the world can still be a problem place, right? Those things don't go away. But imagine if your consciousness was programmed more toward the positive side of the fence. How much easier would it be for you to navigate those adversities? How much easier would it be to come up with a solution when you feel positive the vast majority of the time? How important is it to you to be able to have a skill set like that? Friends, it really only takes a few minutes every day to reset that reticular activating system. And true to form, when life is really asserting itself, that's the time to double down on the practice. And that is so hard because we're really struggling, but that really is the time. And I'm here to tell you, if you can raise the bar even that much, just a smidge, it's a game changer because you just changed your state of consciousness by nothing more than thought alone. Friends, our thoughts can make us well or make us sick, right? Make us well, the placebo effect. Make us sick, the nocebo effect. The power of positive thinking is an absolute game changer, and it's a skill that all of us should develop to mastery. All right, I'll see you in some future videos, but for now, try this one. Give me 30 days with it, and then let me know how it goes for you, because I'm pretty sure you're going to see a pretty profound change. Talk to you soon.